Welcome to the Clinical AI Academy. This is the Clinical AI Rounds episode number 3. And today we're discussing bias in medical AI. It's a very common topic, widely discussed, and today we're going to take it as a clinical case. So let's say a hospital pilots a dermatology AI system trained to detect skin cancer from images. It performs amazingly on people with light skin, but then starts missing lesions on darker tones. The clinicians ask, how could an objective algorithm be biased? Right? We think AI is objective. We think it does not discriminate. But today we'll see that this is not the case, and that AI does not actually reflect objectivity, but reflects reality. So let's see. So bias in medical AI usually begins at the data level. So if a data set, for example, underrepresents skin tones, certain skin colors, or age groups or comorbidities, the model will learn those as similar as blind spots. So it will not be able to deal with them. It was not ever trained on them, never seen such cases. So how could it perform well on them? So this is very important to keep in mind. It's not that it intends to discriminate, it just simply does so by reproducing the statistical patterns it was shown or it has learned. So in radiology, bias can emerge from different resources. So like in the data set, so for different resources, for example, scanner type, hospital demographics, age, or even disease prevalence in patients' population. Even subtle factors like which patients get imaging in the first place can shape what the model learns. So if patients are on a specific insurance policies, sometimes they don't get access to the imaging modalities, and patients who get access to imaging modalities come from a specific socio-demographic characteristics or population. For example, rich have more access to facilities, so the data sets come. Usually, those patients gets higher representation, and if you don't have enough data from the other population group, then your model will be biased and will end up with underdiagnosing such population and not performing well on them. And this could be dangerous. Like if you're not diagnosing specific skin cancers early on, then you're risking the patient's life. So high accuracy may only apply in this case to the population that the model already knows. So does not translate to the population that the model have never seen before. So a model that performs unevenly across patient groups in clinically is actually clinically unsafe, no matter how high its accuracy on paper. So a model that performs unevenly across patients groups is clinically unsafe. You cannot trust it. Like, how could you trust a model that discriminates or like is biased, or like end up with underdiagnosing specific patients? How would you trust to use it on daily basis, no matter what the patient's population are? So this is important to keep in mind. As a clinical take-home message from this clinical AI round is that the following. So when evaluating an AI tool or reading a study, look for the demographic breakdown. Did performance hold across sex, age, and ethnicity? Site diversity, were multiple hospitals or scanners represented? And equity audits, were bias analysis reported at all in the paper or in the brochure of this AI tool? If these details are missing, assume bias until proven otherwise. So it's not something to take lightly. Inclusive data is a prerequisite for clinical accuracy and for clinical readiness of AI tools. And it's important to remember that AI reflects its data, right? So the AI reflects its data that it was trained on, and that is the reality for the AI, not the real reality that you're dealing with. So you need to be careful that the reality you're dealing with, or the patients, your population, your circumstances, your infrastructure, that it is suitable for the AI tool that you're using. Or the other way around, that the AI tool you're using can perform this with its data that it was trained on, can perform on your own patient's population. So that is your reality. But the AI was trained on a different reality, which is the data in this case. So your responsibility, or our responsibility as clinicians, is to be aware of this gap and make sure that measures were taken to overcome it, and at least that it is stated and we are aware of it when using a specific AI tool or dealing or on our patient's population. So this is very important to keep in mind, and bias in medical AI. So that was the third episode from Clinical AI Rounds from the Clinical AI Academy. I hope you found it helpful. Please let me know your feedback, join the discussion, and ask questions. Let me know what you think, and see you in the next one.